This media business is going through a major change. CNN just saw its worst ratings in a quarter of a century. The worst ratings they've had in 25 years. Again, because things have changed. Like it's become more competitive. Authenticity is valued. I mean, we don't have all the bells and whistles here. It's a lot, right? To get the graphics and the music and the lights and the multiple cameras. But you got me and I got you. And there is a transparency, an honesty, and a roughness occasionally, right? Especially when the microphones don't work. Thank you, Leslie, for always telling me. Listen, like there's a roughness to it, but I think for whatever reason, Americans are seeking something that's more genuine and less produced. No prompters here, so that means sometimes you have to sit through my stories, which I know you like, right? But anyway, they're having a tough time at the very controlled, very produced CNN, where they just saw their worst ratings in a quarter of a century. And now Mark Thompson, who's the CEO, and he came from the New York Times, where they don't pay big TV salaries there in print, he's going around the newsroom and saying, okay, who can I cut? And who doesn't need to make $20 million a year? One might be Anderson Cooper. Also, talent up for potential pay negotiations and pay reductions might include Erin Burnett. She's very talented. And this one in the middle, I can never remember her name. Anderson Cooper, $20 million a year he's making. They're also looking at Jake Tapper, who reportedly makes $3 million, if you believe the Daily Mail. And they're looking at, that was Caitlin Collins. The girl in the middle, Caitlin Collins. Look, I mean, they don't need to pay all this money to a bunch of people that read prompters. I mean, the times have changed, and you need people with original thoughts and original reporting and a little less pomp and circumstance. So the guy figures that out, right? The guy from the New York Times is figuring that out in real time. And he's looking at Wolf Blitzer, who allegedly is making $7 million for the Daily Mail. And they're saying, we can do this differently. We can do this differently. We want to do this differently. Because the reality is people are in different places. Look, we're streaming this live as I speak. I'm on YouTube right now, where I am every single day. And also we're streaming on X, where advertisers are coming back. What do you know? You know, you would think that advertisers would continue maybe boycotting, like that little Rachel Zegler. You saw her with the mask. She's doing some show in New York City, and she can't get too close to her fans. Gosh, no. She's got to keep the mask up, keep the remembrance of Kamala Harris alive and well. Well, people are coming back to X, and the landscape is shifting, has shifted in real time. You're hopefully watching this with some ads in it. You also have my ads that I'm reading. That is a very different thing. When I first came to the podcast model, I was like, what are you talking about? I read an ad? And so I'm painful, right? Because I'm like, well, I have to try the product. I have to like the product. Salespeople are like, oh gosh, what do we get into with her? But I think a lot of podcasters, they bring that authenticity, and I certainly know I do, because I'm not going to try and push anything on you that I don't have some faith in or some belief in. But these people over at CNN, they're having a hard time realizing that X has a certain amount of cachet, and that, guess what, people have imaginations, and they're kind of enjoying this moment, right? Like making memes. You don't need to pay all these influencers, Kamala Harris, what was it, the $1.5 billion? The $1.5 billion that she wasted? I mean, incredible. The Kamala campaign spending all this money, and guess what? You don't really need to do that.